Hey, good evening again, everybody. So I want just to give an update since there's so much activity going on around West Central Missouri. Not so much in the way of severe weather. The strong winds, hail. We don't have none of that going on, but what we do have are some tremendous rainfall rates that are coming down with these thunderstorms. So, kind of looking back from this morning, the setup was, really right over St. Joe to Kansas City, maybe hitting Harrisonville, Warrensburg, Pettis County. But because of that line that started this afternoon a little bit further south, those outflow boundaries that we were watching earlier, that's what I was a little bit concerned about, that we could maybe shift those thunderstorms down into more of West Central Missouri, into Bates, into Henry, into Benton counties, and that's exactly what had happened tonight. Many of these thunderstorms were born out of the outflow boundary, the gust front, so to speak. The gust front is this line that you see right here. This is the leading edge of that rain cooled air. If anybody was out when this gust front come through your neck of the woods, you notice there was an instant drop in humidity. There was a nice breeze. We cooled down about 10 to 12 degrees instantly, and that served like a little cold front. So basically what happened was the thunderstorms began to develop along and behind that gust front. And of course, now, we have several thunderstorms out in the area of West Central Missouri. The strongest one with the heavier rainfall amounts right now is in between Hughesville down to Sedalia, down to Lincoln, in this little broken segment of thunderstorms. Now, over just to the west in Henry County and up toward Johnson County near Warrensburg, there's some very heavy rainfall amounts. Now, that is not hail. That is rainfall. And that is where we're expecting right now over, say, Chilhowie, 3-inch per hour rainfall rates, which is, that leads the visibility down to well under a quarter of a mile. We also have that along 7 Highway in between Urick and Clinton, right around Hartwell area. So some of these thunderstorms are going to be producing very, very heavy rains over a very short amount of time. Now, these are going to come in waves as more thunderstorms continue to develop. And again, right now, it's looking from about Smithville down to about Osceola. If I zoom this out, that's a corridor of thunderstorms moving from from southwest to northeast. I'll put this into motion here. You can see this is going to be the general direction these storms continue through the evening. So some of you may end up with 3-4 inches of rainfall. I wouldn't be surprised to see even locally higher amounts by tomorrow morning. Now, as this gust front, this outflow boundary continues to move to the southeast, those in Benton County, St. Clair County, eventually down toward Hermitage, Wablo, Humansville, El Dorado Springs, you guys could be starting to get some of these scattered, isolated thunderstorms that could drop an inch in 30-40 minutes very easily. So that's one of the big reasons why we have these flash flood warnings into effect right now for about the next 5 hours here in Pettis, Johnson, Henry, Northeast Bates, the eastern half of Cass County, all the way up into that's up into Higginsville, Odessa, Concordia, Marshall area. So we're looking Lafayette County, Jackson County. So, I think we're gonna be kind of in that thick of things here in at least the northern half of west central Missouri. Before we were looking at just Cass, Johnson, Pettis County. Now I think we probably ought to include the next tier down. That's going to be Bates, Henry, into Benton County. Can expect some flooding potential. Right now it's going to take over 2.5 inches of rainfall in order for us to kind of hit that mark where, we have been, certain areas have been kind of dry, but in order for us to hit that magical number, that's about 2.5 inches of rainfall is going to have to fall, within a 4-6 hour time frame. And most of this area, I think we're there or awfully close to it. So definitely want to keep you guys up to date on the flooding concerns. We don't talk a whole lot about flash flooding. It became a very hot topic due to the flooding down in Texas along the Guadalupe River, where they had a bunch of lost lives down in that area. But it is something we need to be paying attention. If you're out on the roadways, watch for ponding on the roads, as that is likely going to be an issue tonight too with any of these cells that's putting down these torrential rainfall rates like that. Visibilities are going to be low, so just take it easy if you're going to be out traveling from one location to another tonight. As far as the severe weather, the strong straight line winds, hail, as far as the tornado threat, we have 0 tornado threat tonight. You don't have to worry about anything tornadic. No hail threat. There could be maybe 1 or 2 wind gusts that might approach that severe level, close to 58 to 60 miles per hour, but most of these wind gusts are going to be in the 30, 40, maybe 45 mile an hour range for this evening, with any of the strongest of the storms that should happen to rotate in through our area. Take a look at chat here. Hi, guys. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Christine. Thumbs up for the live stream, Cordova. 2+ in less than an hour. Missy mentioned flooding in Warrensburg and on Highway 13 north of the Berg and on the east side. So make sure you guys keep note of that. No rain yet in Roseland. Please let Nevada get 3 or 4 inches. I think we might even get, you guys down in Vernon County might actually get a couple of thunderstorms with these. You're right on the borderline down there in Vernon County, but I think you guys might get some by the time it's all said and done. Maybe not 3 or 4 inches, but go ahead and water the garden. Kelly, that's so funny. That's so funny. Hi, Lucky. Well, I wanted to remain perfect, Kelly. So if you're watching this, you were. I want you to remain perfect. You were 0 for 1 here last week. You were talking about should you water your garden, and it's just like if this thing, it's fine. So you gave him a little bit extra of a drink. Okay, that's the worst part about this. You just gave him a little bit extra of a drink. Now, if I told you no, don't worry about it, Kelly. Don't worry about watering your garden tonight. And say we only picked up a couple tenths of an inch of rain, then your plants might die. So I'm looking out for you, girl. I want you to remain perfect. You're 0 for 2, at least from what I know of right now. So I'll try to keep you perfect as we go through the rest of summer. Mary mentioned it rained heavy in Sedalia, now kind of slowed down a little bit. Hey Tyson, good to see you, buddy. Glad to have you here on the stream with us. Is it raining in Warrensburg? Yeah, it's lightening it up just a little bit, but there's more rain coming in Warrensburg, that's for sure. They've got a pretty heavy cell moving into Warrensburg right now. Really straight down, almost straight down 13 Highway is going to be absolutely bonkers here in about probably about 5 to 8 minutes. From Warrensburg all the way down through Post Oak, Leeton, all the way down to Clinton. 13 Highway is going to be a mess. So if anybody's out driving between Warrensburg and Clinton on 13 Highway, please be careful, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of cars off on the side of the road with their hazards on, hopefully with their hazards on, because visibility is going to be nearly zero on 13 Highway between Warrensburg and Clinton here in about 5 minutes. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Dave. Yeah, we're getting some pretty good rainfall rates here. Let's take a look at storm totals. So right now, man, look at Johnson County. They've been rocking and rolling. Some reports of 4 to 5 inches of rain here, according to radar, just southeast of Holden. Well, Warrensburg received about 3 inches. Knob Noster, close to 3.5 to 4 inches of rainfall so far. So definitely see the reason why they issued that flash flood warning. Certain parts of Henry had picked up, according to radar, a couple inches of rain. Looked like about 1.5 inches in Clinton, but yeah, it's showing a 1/2 inch on my 72 degrees, feels like 72, with 0.54 inch rain. I think we probably got a little bit more than that, but of course that's on the north side of town. That's on the north side of town. So, man, it's going to be spotty. Some of these totals are going to be very spotty. Clinton's getting ready to get hit with another brief, very heavy downpour here in about 5 minutes as well. Kenneth said downpour on 50, can only see about a 1/4 mile in front. Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's how 13 is going to be here momentarily. Between Warrensburg, Leeton, and Clinton, and probably even all the way down to Deepwater, it is just going to be a solid wall of water that's going to be coming down. So if anybody is out driving in that area or thinking about heading that direction, you might want to wait till this little line gets past 13 Highway, because you will not be able to see anywhere out there. There's a looking toward the south from downtown Clinton Square. looking over Farmer's Elevator, looking toward Deepwater area. Of course, we see another shelf cloud, what looks to be a shelf cloud right here that is going to be that's going to be moving into Deepwater. Hi, Linda. Good evening, Matt. So Dwayne mentioned 1/4 of an inch 6 miles west of Lincoln. You might be getting a little bit more right now down in the Lincoln area, but I have a feeling you're gonna have more thunderstorms as we go here over the next 3 hours there, Dwayne. It was a shelf cloud when you was heading toward Lamont. It was. As far as seeing, we've had this morning when we had that roll cloud that come across. When it started and come through Warrensburg, it was absolutely beautiful. By the time it made it down to, really in Henry County, into Pettis County, it really started to break apart a little bit. But man, some of the pictures of the shelf cloud from these storms this afternoon, man, they were impressive. So I did send a couple of them off to the National Weather Service as well to kind of let them know what it was looking like down in our neck of the woods. Man, they were beautiful shots of the shelf cloud. Hey, you bet, Amanda. So again, just kind of a little bit of a recap. I do believe that a lot of these storms are going to develop out here in eastern Kansas. I still think Kansas City Metro up to Smithville, Odessa, Higginsville, Olathe, Belton. I think you guys are still going to get these thunderstorms training across the area tonight. So you want to be, paying close attention to any ponding on the roads, to any new warnings. We have so many flash flood warnings out there from Chillicothe down to Marshall, Sedalia, Clinton, Warrensburg, Harrisonville, Odessa. A very large flash flood warning ongoing right now. So please be paying very close attention if you have to get out and about tonight with this. We do have more thunderstorms, of course, out here in southeast Kansas, eastern Kansas, that was going to be moving across the state line here over the next few hours. I really just wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on what we have going on here in west central Missouri. As far as the road conditions, remember, you can always go to subbiesweathertalk.com, especially for you. I know we've had a lot of new people. I think I've let 250 people into the group tonight. So if you are new, want to welcome you to Subby's Weather Talk page. And again, you can go to subbiesweathertalk.com. I made this website just for you guys. It has so much information. I have been posting quite a bit about Weather Call. You can sign up for Weather Call right here off of our webpage. Weather Call is incredible. If there's anything life-threatening, from a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag to a tornado warning, you're going to get a phone call with a personalized message from me telling you what warning you're under and what safety precautions you need to take. Okay, no matter what time of day. It can be 10 o'clock at night, 5 o'clock in the morning. It can be 3 a.m. If it's life-threatening, you're going to get a phone call, and I'm going to be telling you what's going on in your area. It's a fantastic new program we just rolled out about a week ago. If it's say a flash flood warning or something maybe not quite as life-threatening, a regular severe thunderstorm warning, something in that regard, you're going to get a text message, you're going to get an email, and it's going to have a radar, it's going to have a map, it's going to follow you where you go. If you're taking a trip to Branson, all you got to do is just hit Find Me on the program, and it's going to locate you, and it's going to protect you wherever you are at. And if you get under a warning, you're going to get a phone call from me if it's life-threatening. You'll get a text if it's just maybe like a flash flood watch or a severe thunderstorm watch, something in that regard, maybe not quite life-threatening. You're going to get a text or an email. So definitely for $15 for the entire year, holy cow, that's incredible. And I know several of you have mentioned that you got your first warning notification tonight. So I'm very happy to see that going on. But you can actually go here under our tab for more. And there's so many things you can look at. You also, under winter weather info, you can go to Missouri road conditions. If you click on that, you can see if there's water over the road. Already seeing one on I-70. We got flooding just off of I-70. Right now, I'm not seeing really much of the way of any more flooding right now, at least through the MoDOT map. But this is a great tool for you guys. And again, Subby'sWeatherTalk.com. You can sign up for Weather Call. You've got radar, fully interactive radar. You can zoom in. You have over 50 different radars that you can choose from. So fantastic. You've got Futurecast if you want to know what, say, the next 2 or 3 days are going to look like based on our in-house model down at Radford Media Group at the Baumgard Weather Center. So, of course, we've got our podcast on there as well. There's all kinds of stuff on here to take a look at. Once you sign up for Weather Call, this is what it's going to look like. You go to your information page. It's going to show you where you are at. It's going to show a little marker. You're within that polygon. That's the reason why you received a text message talking about a flash flood warning. You can come down. I do have my lightning service active. You can click on lightning service, turn on where you get a text message whenever there's a lightning strike around 10 miles of you. It tells you to go inside. There is a lightning threat, and then it will give you an all clear as well when there hadn't been any lightning strikes in 15 minutes. There's the Find Me. All you got to do is click on that, and then it will temporarily change the location of your account to where you're at. And it will stay there for 5 days unless you turn it off. It will stay there for 5 days, and then it will resort back to your previous location. What a fantastic service, guys. I am so excited about this service. Works for anybody in the country. If you have an aunt and uncle that live in Minnesota, share them that link that I share with you guys. They can sign up. They can get a message from Subby whenever there is a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning in their area. And they can enjoy all the same features as what we do here. So definitely, there's my lightning alert. So a fantastic program, guys. I'm going to be talking about that for quite some time because I'm really excited because of that. I tell you what, Elizabeth, if you want to, go to Subby'sWeatherTalk.com. That's the easiest way to find it. If you go to Subby'sWeatherTalk.com, all you got to do right there on the home page, there's a link there that'll take you right to the sign-up page. Yep. Thanks, Kenny. Oh, thank you, Caleb, for those kind words. I appreciate that. Yep. I sure appreciate all the kind words, guys. And I mean that's my full time dedication is for West Central Missouri and surrounding areas. I know we have a lot of people from Springfield. We got a lot of people up in the Kansas City metro area. We have several from over near Eldon, Tipton, California, Jefferson City, Blue Springs, Odessa, Smithville, Wyandotte County, Kansas, and I try to cover everybody that I can. But my focus is right down to our 8 counties here in West Central Missouri. So that's what I try to focus on. All right, guys. So I just want to give an update to you guys. I know there's a lot of lightning. It's loud out there. Torrential rains. We had some ominous skies this afternoon, and I just kind of want to kind of put your mind at ease as we're getting closer to around bedtime for a lot of people. It's 9:30. So I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware we're not expecting any severe weather tonight outside of maybe an isolated case where we might get a 55, 58 mile an hour wind gust, but no hail threat, no tornado threat, but there is going to be a flooding risk. So if you live in one of those prone areas that sometimes get floods, roadway flooded, this is kind of a little bit of a warning for you guys, especially if you're getting out and about in the morning. If you live in one of those flood-prone areas, you might want to get up a little bit early, make sure the roads are open. You don't have to take the long way around because we're going to see these thunderstorms off and on pretty much all through the night into tomorrow morning. And then I think we're going to start clearing up. For those of you that want to get out into the fields, we talked about this all week. I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday, it's going to be very, very hot. We're going to have that dome of high pressure sit right on top of West Central Missouri. So if you have aches, pains, migraines, if you have just general body aches, you'll probably want to go ahead and start taking your proactive steps right now because with that high pressure, a very strong high pressure centered right on top of us, it's going to put a lot of pressure on our bodies. So again, if you have arthritis, migraines, aches, pains, your knees, your joints, start taking some proactive steps to help eliminate that or help alleviate that of some sort as we go into Saturday. And again, that's going to be about 4.5 days of dry weather, but very, very hot. We're going to have some heat indices up into the 110, 112 range next Tuesday, Wednesday. So, our actual temperatures are only going to be in the mid 90s. So that kind of gives you an idea how humid it's going to be here in West Central Missouri. So, not to add insult to injury with talking about next week's heat, but enjoy this little cool down tonight, and hopefully gives our AC units to our houses a little bit of a break with this cooler air tonight, and before we settle in onto the weekend. Oh, hey, Imperial. No, 13 is from Leeton to Warrensburg. Boy, I tell you what, I would hold off on that right now, Jennifer. Because right now, 13 Highway is getting hammered right now. And when you do decide to go, man, take it easy. Don't go 65 on 13. There's going to be water ponding on the roadways. There's going to likely be some water coming over the road from the fields, from the drainage ditches. So take it easy. Drive 40, 45 mile an hour. Take it easy. Pay attention to the roadway, but I'd hold off for a little bit because they're getting hammered down 13 highway right now. From Clinton to Warrensburg right now on 13 is I'd say visibility is well under a quarter of a mile right now along that stretch. And then after that, looks like we'll get a little bit of a break. We're still going to see some thunderstorms develop, but it's going to be more isolated in nature. And then we'll have to see what these thunderstorms out here in eastern Kansas, we'll see what they're going to do. I'll put this in motion one more time, kind of give you an idea of where these storms are going. They're not moving real fast. Notice these cells out here in eastern Kansas, they've been over the same spot for... let's see here. That would be over the last 40, 50, almost hour. These cells have been out here in eastern Kansas in the same spot. So, yeah, we're going to be seeing this again through tomorrow morning. I think we're going to catch a little bit of a break tomorrow. Once these storms get out of here tomorrow, probably I'm guessing late morning. By the time these storms get out of here, but remember you can catch me tomorrow morning. Typically always update the forecast by around 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. You can catch that on all of my social media platforms. A big thanks to Radford Media Group, 95.3 KDKD. They're my home base. These guys allow me to be able to broadcast on all of their platforms, including over the airwaves. A big thanks to Clay and Brittany over at Radford Media Group giving me that opportunity. A big thanks goes out to the sponsors, too. They're the ones that pay my salary. You've got Clayton Heartfelt Home Care, you got Max Motors, and, of course, Family Safe Certified Storm Shelter down in Republic. If anybody is looking for a storm shelter, you got to give those guys a chance, man. They do fantastic job down there in Republic. That's Family Safe Storm Shelter. So a big thanks to our sponsors of Storm Track Weather as well. You're at 13. Thanks, Ken. Thank you so much for that donation. I appreciate that. 13 and 2 highway, and it is pouring, said Lisa. So she's sitting right up here. Oh yeah, you're getting hit hard there at 13 and 2 highway. Woo, yeah. So again, if I forgot now who was asking about between Leeton and Warrensburg, you give it about another 15 minutes. Let this go. Let this get past you, and then take it slow on 13 between Leeton and Warrensburg. Take it slow. Be prepared to have some ponding over the roadways, maybe a little bit of water coming off the fields over the road at certain dips. So just be very, very careful. So, Green Ridge, Windsor, Bowen, Calhoun, and then eventually, let's see here, down in the northwest corner of Benton County. That's going to be down around Brandon, Yolo, C Highway over to Lincoln. This little broken cluster of thunderstorms is going to be heading out your way, and I would not be surprised to see. Yeah, I would not be surprised from Bowen down to Calhoun and then heading into Windsor, 40, maybe 45 mile an hour wind gusts. So if you have any lawn furniture on your front porch, something like that, something you don't want blowed over, now would be a good time to grab them and lay them down or bring them in or put them in a garage right now, because you do have some 40, 45 mile an hour winds again right along this little Boeing segment right here. So be prepared for some stronger wind gusts right there, and again, torrential rainfall rates, guys. These things are putting down 3-inch per hour rainfall rate. They don't even get that in the tropics along the equator. So that's some heavy rain. So just be prepared for that. Okay, Jennifer, that's good. I'm glad. 13 highway is bad enough even when it's dry pavement. So I know I had to drive that every day for a couple years. And man, I tell you what, wintertime, 13 highway, I say that 26-mile stretch between Clinton and Warrensburg probably, if they did some analysis on it, probably has the most wrecks within a 26-mile stretch of any other piece of roadway probably in west central Missouri, with all the curves and the hills and those, I call them blind spots on the roadways. There's so many between Clinton and Warrensburg. It's bad enough when it's dry, much less having snow on the roads or visibility down under a quarter of a mile, probably close to an eighth of a mile. Okay, guys. So again, those of you in Windsor, Calhoun, Green Ridge, you guys need to be prepared. Bowen, for again, very heavy rains, wind gusts up to 40, maybe 45 miles per hour. This will eventually be heading off into southern Pettis County, northern Benton County, so Lincoln, Colcamp, you guys need to be prepared here over the next hour for some very heavy rains, a lot of lightning, and then of course, we expand that out, some isolated thunderstorms out here in eastern Kansas, western Missouri. Those are going to continue to form over the next few hours, but it's going to be a little hit and miss, isolated, scattered variation. And then we'll see what this cluster of thunderstorms do out here in eastern Kansas. These out here might stay just to the north of west central Missouri. I think that's what they're planning on coming up here closer to the KC area to provide them with that flooding concerns overnight tonight. But I'll be keeping a close eye on all of this tonight, guys. I'm planning on keeping a close eye on radar, and I'll continue to update on our social media platforms of any changes, of any other warnings, of course, throughout west central Missouri. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me either through the website. As soon as you go to subbiesweathertalk.com, there's a little pop-up box. If you ask a question on the website, it instantly goes to my cell phone. So you can ask a question on that, or you can use Messenger on Facebook, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to answer you in the order that they come, because sometimes during events like this, I get a lot of messages from people. I'm more than happy to answer them, but sometimes it takes me just a little bit longer to get them all answered. But otherwise, guys, everybody have a great rest of the night. Enjoy the little bit cooler weather, giving our AC units a little bit of a break before the heat really sets in this weekend into next week. So, guys, stay weather aware, and we'll be talking to you all soon.